good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, fam, let's jump into this episode, fam. We have a good one. So look, fam, there is a few, as you guys know, my 2011 collection is extensive. And I probably have certainly most of the 2011 manufacturers represented there in that collection. And, you know, there are a few exceptions, some intentional, but others are just harder to acquire here in the state of California. And Masterpiece Arms has been one of those guns. Like Masterpiece Arms, Bull Armory, couple others, Nighthawk. They're few and far between in the state of California. So I have to be like very strategic on, you know, positioning to acquire those firearms, particularly if I don't want to break the bank. Well, long story short, I had an opportunity to pick up a Masterpiece Arms 2011. Now, their signature line is the DS9 Hybrid series, and that gun comes in different configurations. They have a non-ported version, they have a ported version, and most recently they came out with the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid TC. Now, I did an initial impressions video on this firearm, so if you haven't seen that, definitely go back and take a look at it. This time, we're going to break out this gun in full review style. So first off, why don't we let you take a look at the gun? Alright, fam, what I'm going to need you to do is stop playing with your boy. Check out this bad boy right here. Now, what's funny about Masterpiece Arms is I think that the general consensus out there is that Masterpiece Arms are really focused on making tools, quality tools. They're less concerned about aesthetics, you know. So if you want a pretty gun, look at something else. But if you want a gun that is just going to run at an affordable price, then Masterpiece Arms should be one that you're looking at. And I don't know if I agree with that, fam. I think that they make an attractive looking gun. Is it as attractive as maybe some of the other models out there? Maybe not, but I don't think it's certainly not a dog. I think it's a very attractive looking gun. So, you know, I'll let you guys be the judge. We can talk about that down in the comments. But what's unique about this gun, a few things. Number one, it is an all metal gun, all metal construction. In my assessment, and we'll get into it a little bit, really well done. It's got that huge compensator on the front. So let me let you guys take out this. A lot of people are comparing this or looking at this gun as a direct competitor to the Staccato XC. And I can see where they get that from. A lot of the things, first of all, it has that big hawking comp, like we talk about it, very similar to an XC. It racks really, really smoothly, like an XC. Really good trigger, just a little bit of take up, clear defined wall, crisp clean brake. Look at that reset, short reset. So fam, it has XC vibes written all over the gun. And don't worry, we will do a head-up comparison with the DS9 Hybrid TC and the Staccato XC, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming your way soon. But first, why don't we get into the review? Alright fam, so if you've never seen a 2.8 NLA review, this is how it goes down. It's about to go down. Right? Scale is 0 to 100, 0 being the hottest piece of garbage, trash, gun in the history of mankind, 100 being the most highly manufactured yet inexpensive firearm in the history of the world. I've never had a 0, I've never had 100. One could always hold out hope though. This rating system though is not designed to make people feel good about purchases. More so it's designed to give you an honest assessment. So a 50 is a right down, if you got something like 50 to 60, that's a right down the middle gun. Reliable, gonna go bang every time, but really no feels or thrills to it. If you got something kind of 60 to 70, that's one deviation above the norm. Maybe it has a feature or two that make it stand out from the middle of the road guns. If you got something 70 to 80, that gun is more feature rich. That gun is a couple of deviations above the norm. If you got something 80 to 90, well now you're kind of talking a best in class gun. Specifically if you're kind of 85 to 89, and if you're 90 and above, that's grail gun status. Alright fam, so look, let's get into the review. First up, fit and finish. Like I said fam, all metal gun, coating is really well done, machining is really well done. There's no hang up there. This thing racks silky smooth. I'll put the specs up there so you guys can check those out. But yeah fam, the fitment on the gun is really well done. No wiggle slide to frame, no wiggle grip to frame. The barrel fitment is really well done. Look fam, this thing is well done. I'm not gonna lie, at this, I don't know if I've seen another gun at this price point, and we'll get into affordability in a little bit, but I don't know if I've seen another gun at this price point this well manufactured. Kudos to Masterpiece Arms. They did an excellent job with this firearm. Fit and finish, we're going to go ahead and give the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid TC, and that is a mouthful. Here on in, we're just going to call it the TC. We're going to give it a 14 out of a possible 15 for fit and finish. Alright fam, next up, durability. Again fam, like I said, all metal constructions, coatings are really well done. You know, fitment is outstanding. I just think it's going to be a very durable gun. I probably got now about 1,500 rounds through it, and they went really fast because it's such a fun shoot. We'll get into that a little bit more in a minute, but no signs of wear and tear. We'll come back when I get maybe 5,000 and again at 10,000 rounds through it to see how it's holding up. But I would imagine this gun is going to be highly durable. We're going to give it a 14 out of 15 for durability. Next up, reliability. So look fam, like I said, 1,500 rounds to it in various scenarios, from slow fire to rapid fire, running, gunning it, and not one hiccup. Not a one fam. It is a smooth shooter, highly reliable. Masterpiece Arms has been making quality 2011s for quite some time. Even though this is a newer model, you know, I think they've got the secret sauce. So for reliability, again, we're going to give this bad boy a 14 out of a possible 15. Alright fam, next up, trigger. Like I said fam, well done. Well done on this trigger. Let you see it again. There's hardly any take up. You're essentially at the wall. The wall is clear and defined. Oh, such a good crisp, clean break. Look at the reset. I'll go ahead and put the pull weight up there so you guys can check it out. But I think this trigger is really, really, really well done. You guys know I'm a trigger snob. I'm not sure if they make their own trigger or whose trigger they're using here, but it's a good one. It's a good one. As good as a lot of the other like really well done triggers out there. For trigger, we're going to give it a 14 out of a possible 15. All right, fam. Next up, accuracy. So when I talk about accuracy, fam, I'm not just talking about how tight the groupings are, not just barrel accuracy, but all around accuracy. It's the shootability of the gun. How does in this particular case, the compensator, the trigger, the balance of the gun, how do all of those things kind of come into play to help you be more accurate? I found the gun to be a pleasure to shoot. Now, I added, you can see it there, I added that gas pedal there. The downside to the gas pedal is this particular one. This is a Masterpiece Arms gas pedal. The downside to the gas pedal is obviously you're restricted relative to the type of holster that you can use with it. But aside from that, it's a game changer. I would say the weakest part of where I'm at in my shooting journey is keeping a consistent, solid grip. Like narrowing down my grip fundamentals. I've gotten much, much better in recent months. But I'm telling you, this gas pedal is, man, talk about an aid. It's phenomenal. So I would definitely recommend, if you have a DS9 Hybrid, this is made strictly for the DS9. Make sure you pick up one. It really is a game changer. So I would say all in all, you know, the balance of the gun, everything, including this gas pedal, really made the shootability of this gun top notch. For accuracy, we're going to give it a 9 out of a possible 10. Next up, ergonomics. Fam, I know I've told you guys this is my first Masterpiece Arms gun. Not my first Masterpiece Arms grip module though. I have a Masterpiece Arms grip module on my custom Springfield Prodigy, and I love that grip, and I love the way the grip feels here. Is it like an Atlas grip where you have the modularity? No. Is it like that Fowler Valentine grip that I told you guys feels like a warm hug? No. But it is a really, really solid grip. I don't plan on changing it out. I think it's more than sufficient for my needs and feels really good in the hand. So look, ergonomics, we're going to go ahead and give it again a 9 out of a possible 10. All right, fam, these next two categories, we're going to lump them together. Aftermarket support as well as maintenance and upkeep. It's a 2011. You got to keep it clean. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, every 1,000 rounds, break it down, clean it out, or do a light clean every time you go to the range, and you'll be fine. You know, it'll be all good. But it's not like a polymer pistol where you can put 20,000 rounds to it and never clean it. It's going to gunk up, particularly if you got a comp on it. So you got to, you know, do a little bit of work. Aftermarket support, the aftermarket is growing significantly. More and more people are coming into the space. I can remember when it was like just Vulcan and kind of Monsoon, and then all of a sudden you had guys like DSC Gunworks and Skips Guns and Iron Monkey and all these other companies, more and more every day, that are coming into the space. And so I'll tell you now that the way you see this gun today is not the way it's going to be. I kind of alluded to in my initial impressions video that I was going to take this gun and I was going to take it to another level. A lot of it aesthetics, some performance. I won't get into the ins and outs of it in this video, but I say all that to say that aftermarket support is not lacking. So maintenance and upkeep, 4 out of 5. Aftermarket support, 4 out of 5. All right, fam. Next up, affordability. Look, fam, this is usually the part in the video where I hang my head in shame, because I tell you guys that this gun is $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. Not this time, fam. Not this time. I don't want to make it seem as if this gun is inexpensive, because it is not. I'll put the MSRP up there. But I will say this. It's in striking distance, I think, for a lot of people. And a lot of people ask me, 2A in LA, I only got $4,000 to spend on a gun. I only got $3,500 to spend on a gun. I only got $3,000 to spend on. What's the best gun I can buy for in that price range? And fam, I don't know, fam. I think this is arguably the best gun for the money on the market right now. I'm not just throwing that out there to see if it sticks. I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it, and I've been racking my brain, and I was trying to think, for $3,600 less, is $3,600 or less, is there a better gun on the market today? And honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so. All metal construction, okay, that's eliminating a lot of guns right off the rip. Great quality trigger, no mem parts, compensated, and not just some half-ass comp, like a real comp, a comp that really changes the way the gun shoots. Fit, finish, manufacture. I don't think there is a better gun at this price point. In fact, I would argue that this gun quite possibly could be better than a lot of guns that are significantly more money than it. And we'll start off with the Staccato the Staccato XC, which is probably about $1,000 more than the gun as you see it right here. And so, like I said, we'll be doing a comparison of that. But I think value-wise, hard to find a better value than the DS9 Hybrid. So affordability is still an expensive gun, but relatively speaking, I think it's, like I said, in striking distance for many. We're going to give it a 3 out of a possible 5 for affordability. All right, fam, last but not least, flex. Is Instagram gonna go crazy? Are your boys gonna be on your tip? Are all the honeys gonna be like, I want to shoot shotgun? Yep, sure. Most definitely. Like I said, fam, I think MPA kind of has a reputation of being like the no frills gun. But like, you know how they say some cars are all show, no go, and then you've got like crap looking cars where all the money is in the engine and they run like nobody's business. I think this is a good example of like a car that's deceiving, that has a ton underneath the hood and it just looks nice on the outside. It's not extravagant, it's not over the top or anything like that. It's just gonna run. It's just gonna run. It's gonna be accurate. It's gonna be fun to shoot. Yeah. Flex points, we're going to give it 3 out of a possible 5. All right, fam, look. If you add all of that up, this gun gets an 88 out of a possible 100 points. I don't know if there has been a sub 4K gun that has cracked 88. I don't think so. Certainly not that I can recollect off the top of my head. If there was one, I'll put it up there, but nah, fam, nah. I don't think so, fam. Like, even like my Jacob Grade Covert Limited Edition, I want to say that was like an 86-ish. The Staccato C2, the P, and those guns, like right out of the box, were like 81-ish. somewhere in there, 82-ish. I don't think anything, and I told you guys, look, when you start getting 85 to 89, you're talking about a best-in-class gun. And to have a best-in-class gun at this price point is insane. It's insane. Like I said, I'm not going to get too much into comparisons with other guns in this video. We'll definitely run this against the Staccato XC head to head, and maybe we'll have a discussion about some of the other firearms that are kind of in this category. But yeah, value buy. This is the, in my opinion, the gun of 2025. All right, fam, that's it for this episode. Until next time, as always, I want you guys to take care of one another, and peace.